All right. Hello, everybody. September 5th. We got one quarter left in this year. Anybody take advantage of the recent holiday? I know I did not. Should have put out a some sort of a promo. It kills me every time I get to a holiday weekend. I see all the ad promos coming through and go, "Damn, I should have done that." But anyway, I did not have any specific topic to cover this week, so we are open to anything anybody wants to come on out and ask. Thumper, did you get your audio figured out? No, still working on that one. Okay.
Hey John, it's Anthony. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. How's it going?
Good, good. Hey, so I was originally not going to jump on the Franken AI bandwagon and use as a lead magnet. I have since reevaluated my position and decided I want to participate. So you want to run through that program process of how you will plan on using that? I'm simply going to model what you're doing. I don't see any
Sure.
need to make it difficult.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So Franken AI was a program. It's not one of my programs. It's a program in JV Zoo. And I'm on a lot of lists, so I see a lot of the stuff coming across. So when I saw that, I took a look at it and I thought this is interesting because a lot of people think they need social media, and nobody wants to do it. It's just like it's one of those things that everybody wants, but nobody wants to do it. Kind of like everything else in marketing, right? So when I saw that, I'm like, well, this is a really cool deal. And then I saw their extended program where if you bought their big package, their bundle, you actually had the ability to white label it. You also had the ability not only to white label it, but to give it away for free. And that's a big difference because typically when you get a white label, typically the manufacturer of it or the provider of it, they put restrictions on you, like you have to sell it for a certain amount, you can't give it away for free. And they didn't have that with the Franken AI. They said you could give this away for free. And I know what they were doing. They're trying to get people to upgrade in it and build their list as well. And that's okay. I mean, it's a mutual benefit. So I thought, okay, I'll buy the bundle package. I'll be able to give it away for free. And as lazy as I am, I didn't even rename it. I'm just calling it Franken AI. That is what it is. And I just simply want it as a lead magnet. So I went ahead, I created a landing page for it, and it's just a free offer. I didn't intend to put any kind of, stipulation on it. My intent was just give it away for free. That's it. I also misunderstood their marketing, which, yeah, a little deceitful like most marketers. They didn't tell you the thing that you were giving away was just a one copy thing. Usually when you buy a white label in a big bundle like that, you're able to give away whatever you bought, which if you bought the whole thing, you could give the whole thing away or charge for it or whatever. So anyway, all that said, it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it's still a good lead magnet promo. And the fact is, everybody thinks they want social media and nobody wants to do it. So if you can offer something that solves that problem, which Franken AI does, I don't know necessarily how good it does it, but it does it and it's a freebie and it's a great way to build your list. So that said, I built a basic landing page that says, it's got the video. And again, as lazy as I was, I didn't even, create a custom video. I just put the URL of the sales page for Franken AI into my Quantum and pumped out a video for it. So it was like the ultimate in laziness on my part. But at this point, now I've got a landing page with a video on it that talks about, the free Franken AI. People are downloading it. What I didn't realize was I didn't realize that if you download it, there's a lot of prompts for you to upgrade it, but the links don't work. So what you have to do, you're supposed to go in and set yourself up as an affiliate, create your links and all that. So it's their elaborate plan of selling their stuff and allowing you to do it and make affiliate commission. So it's a great plan, just not what I planned originally. So what I wound up doing was on the thank you page where you download the product, basically I put on there my affiliate links for upgrading. So if anybody wants to upgrade, you can upgrade to the unlimited, or you can upgrade to the jumbo bundle like what I did. So that's really it. It's just a free gimmick to get people on my mailing list. And I've got a lot of stuff that I do, in different places, like on Alignable. I've also got a free giveaway that I'm involved in every month where I pay, and I've told you guys about this before. I pay $60 and I'm one of the title sponsors in there, and I don't have to promote the giveaway because I paid the $60. And then my giveaway is in the giveaway for the way these work. For if you don't know how those work, there's people that put these giveaways on basically to build mailing lists. That's the purpose of them. And you're supposed to promote the giveaway to your list, and everyone else that's participating promotes it to their list. And then all these people get promoted into this one arena where they can get free stuff to help their business. So as a sponsor, I don't have to promote it because I don't want to hit you guys with a bunch of offers to a bunch of newbie crap that mostly is what's in there. But the fact that I've got stuff that will help newbies, it's a good place for me to show up and build my list. So anyway, that's what I was looking for. I'm looking for another free thing I can offer to those people to build my list. So hopefully that makes sense. So, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, all that. And even with my level of laziness, it's still working. I see leads coming in every day for the free Franken AI giveaway. Now, when they come in for that, now they're in my Kartra account. Now I can have other sequences fire, and my end goal is to offer them quantum or offer them act, either one. I may do, I haven't really decided, like I've been talking about this to several people over the last couple weeks. The quantum product has really been an amazing journey. It's like I've been teaching ACT now for what, 10 years? And it's been so difficult for people to actually implement ACT. And there's really nothing I could do about that because I didn't want to do done for you services. Like, I don't want to create everybody's big ideas. I don't want to create everybody's offers. I don't want to do all that work. I help on the apprentice level. I'm helping my apprentices go through it. It's more of a done with you type service, but I never wanted to do a done for you service on that. That's like way more work than I want to commit to. So
Why not hire your own line of coaches, all right, that you send out to help the people?
I actually tried that. That was my initial thought 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But here's the honest truth. I never got a coach that was able to do big ideas and do the stuff and knock them out like I can do.
You know,
So
because I mean and Susie Pruden hit me with that model too. I mean, it's just, you build the model up to where you're training the trainers and they're out helping your people.
oh no, it's a great idea. I mean, I love the idea, and that was my initial intent. But for me to train a trainer and for me to endorse that trainer's got to be able to
Yeah.
perform like I do. And
Had the same problem. Trust me, I get
and
it.
and like, yeah, like good luck with that.
Yeah.
So that's been my problem. And in quantum, like I finally figured out how to clone myself, and quantum was the answer. And now, I mean, you can literally go in there and quantum will create big ideas better and faster than I can.
Hmm.
And it doesn't get tired. It doesn't want to go play on the boat. Yeah, it doesn't have all those problems that I have. Like time in the day. It doesn't care about any of that stuff. It just chips out what you ask it to do constantly over and over and over. And it's like I'm realizing that anything that I do, I can replicate through quantum, through the tool set. And that's what I've been doing. Like I had committed to Delilah earlier, like earlier in the week. I'm like, hey, I'll work on your offer for you. And she's in my apprentice program, so I'm working with her one on one. And I sat down to start working on her offer, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing? I can automate this.
Hmm.
So I went into quantum, I went into the God mode and started prompting and writing prompts. And it took me a while. It took me a while to generate a, a prompt inside there that would actually kick out an offer. But I finally got it, and I sent her, several revisions as I was building it. I'm like, it's not quite there yet, not quite there yet. And then I finally got it. I'm like, holy shit, it's actually able to kick out an offer now. And that tool now is available to you guys. And here's what I tell everybody, in ACT, if you're starting from scratch and you're trying to build a marketing campaign, for me, it's always been easiest to do it in this formula. I take one or the other, the beginning or the end. A lot of times I'll start with the end. And the end of your offer or the end of your campaign is your offer. So I'll build the offer first. And in crafting the offer, you get a real good sense of what you're selling. If you start at the other end and you don't really know what your offer is, and you're creating now something that's leading someone up to something you haven't defined yet, a lot of times you're just going to get a bowl of mashed soup. Your presentation is not going to be very effective. So I like to start with the offer first so I know what I'm building them up to. And then I go from the end all the way back to the beginning and do the big idea. And the big idea for me is a lot easier if I have the offer clear in my head. So that offer is really an important part of building your marketing campaign. Again, this is only when you're in the C portion of ACT. You've got to have the analysis done first. You got to understand really deeply who you're talking to and what's important to them. That's where the build a buyer tool comes in. That build a buyer tool, if you guys haven't played with that, it gets right into the head of your prospect and it tells you what they're thinking. We've talked about that for years. Like what's keeping them up at night? When they lay their head on the pillow, what's the thoughts going through their head that's preventing them from going to sleep? What's worrying them? Um, I created another tool specific to that called Hears and Fears, which is another part of ACT that I talk about is like when you're doing your analysis, it's right before your competitive analysis of who your competition is what are they hearing? Like Like, what are they hearing in relationship to what you're trying to sell them? Like, are they hearing that, people have tried that? Are they hearing, oh my God, people died when they took that diet pill? What are they hearing? Because whatever they're hearing, it's creating fears, and that's forming it's forming their objections. It's forming their belief process, what they're hearing. So I created the tool in quantum that's called hears and fears, and it will tell you what they're hearing and what fears it's creating. Those fears that it's creating are the beliefs that are creating their objections. Then you can take that to the objection tool, and it uses Benjamin Franklin's formula, to eliminate their objections. And then I mean, the tools are just, it's everything I've been trying to teach everyone. But the difference is, instead of you just learning about it, this just does it for you, which is what I never wanted to do because of the time it took. But now, since this doesn't take any of my time, I'm happy to give it to you. I'm happy to do it for you as long as it doesn't take up my time. So it's like the ultimate for me, because I'm able to give what I really wanted to give. Was I wanted to give you guys the ability to do this stuff without having to do it for you. I know you all just want me to do it for you, and now I can.
Hey, John, quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
The the video, so I've only made it through the video program so far, but I have a question about it now that I understand all the other apps that you're talking about in quantum. But my question is, when it makes it really easy to do any kind of video, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But the so some of the responses I get from people who are just, they're just out there. They don't know much about this stuff, and etc. But I've had a few people say, "Oh, I knew that video was AI generated," or that kind of thing. Do you envision a time when it's more the norm and people get over the, well, that's AI generated thing? Are you hearing that?
It's all AI generated.
So
I,
what's causing people to respond that way in your experience?
well, people don't like change, for one. And eventually this won't be the change, it'll be the after effect. So what you're experiencing there is temporary, but there's some validity to it, because AI now is available to everyone. Everyone has the ability to use AI. And what AI is, it's a big, I don't know, there's no easy, nice way to say this. It's a shit generator. And
Okay.
it generates just an enormous heap of shit. It's like the circus, the elephants going through shitting all over, and the guys are following behind cleaning up the shit. Well, there's nobody to clean the shit up in the circus. So AI is being used to just shit all over the internet, and pretty soon it's just going to be a stinky place, right? Like, how it just drives me out of my mind opening emails saying, I hope this email finds you well.
Hmm.
That's somebody that got a hold of AI, doesn't know how to use it, and is just generating shit. This problem existed in SEO right from day one. SEO guys learned how to drive crap sites to the top just because they could, and it caused a bunch of crap. If that was allowed to continue, search would have been worthless. Google would have never created the empire that they created, and search would have collapsed. But instead, there was the battle that came up for quality. So all the algorithm shifts, all of that was put in place to protect the empire and get rid of the shit. They haven't figured that out in AI. AI is so new that you're just in that phase of everything's shit. So if you are the difference and you know how to prompt the AI to get the messaging right, you're going to be the one that rises to the cream of the top.
Got it.
You also learn to take out the language of may this find you well, or I'm getting a lot
Right.
of like website comments right now that the opening thing is thank you for sharing such insightful article. You can tell that's like
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
same thing, Randy. It's written
Hmm.
by AI, and you know that, oh my God, dude, you just like you wrote one thing in AI and you copied and pasted it.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
it's really what's really pissing me off right now is Facebook. I'm starting now almost on a daily basis to get Facebook Messenger messages from people I don't know,
Oh.
and they're introducing themselves as though they're a potential customer. So I'll open up a dialogue with them just to find out it's a fucking robot.
Mm.
You know, for
wait a minute, isn't there a way to make a robot response in that messenger program?
there is, and that's what I've been using, and it's quite comical because I had one just yesterday, and I fell for it. I started communicating back and forth, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, this is not real. I could just tell by the language this isn't right. And so I responded back last night. I go, what color are your socks? And I figured, that's a kind of a non-intrusive kind of question. That's not like what color's your underwear. I go, what color's your sock? And this is a conversation that's been pinging back and forth like rapid fire, and all of a sudden now I got nothing.
Mm.
The robot didn't know how to answer the question. And then all of a sudden, like 24 hours later, I get the response of, oh, do you really think that's an appropriate question to ask? So what happened was the guy that set the thing up was going through looking at the responses, and he saw that. And then he told her, here's how you respond to that, which again, what's inappropriate about asking what color someone's socks are? Color can tell you a lot about the person's personality or whatever. It's not sexual, it's not intrusive, it's not inappropriate, I believe, in any way.
Right.
But anyway, there, I knocked out. That's a bot.
Can't you put a response in there or something with the AI is so are you going to vote for Jimmy Carter or JFK for president this year?
Yeah, yeah, you can.
Throw something like use the candidates from 30, 40 years ago and just throw the names in there and see what they say.
So you can tell if you're talking to a real person. If you threw that out, like Tim, if you threw that out, they would immediately respond, are you whiffing glue or what? And now you got a real person.
Now I know I got a real person, which is
Yeah.
well, I
Yeah.
mean, I put stuff on my Facebook. If you some of you have read some of the stuff, I put stuff on my Facebook because I'm eliminating those people who I will not have on my podcast.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. It's like I don't go in and respond. I don't care what your opinion is. It's how you answered the question tells me a lot about you. Right. And that's in our computer world, you have to do that because everybody's just copy paste. If they don't do AI, they're copy pasting whatever John says, I'm gonna agree with that.
So, and when you're setting up bots like the Build a Becky, that's why it's so important that you actually spend some time and work to program her or him or whoever you're building by giving them a personality. Somebody's going to want to speak to somebody that actually has personality to them. They don't want to talk. Nobody wants to talk to a robot, right? We're not ready for that yet. I believe there'll be a time when that will be the norm and that will be accepted and it will be cool. But that time's not right now. Right now, people are not quite ready for that. So if you want to fake it till you make it, you better make sure your robot acts appropriately as a human. So you've got to program a personality into them, and then you've got to program, whatever data you want them to know, the knowledge base. So you have two pieces to the puzzle. You have the personality and you have the knowledge base. And when you blend them together, now you have let's call it a respectable bot. that can act appropriately and represent your company, and no one is the wiser.
Does your Becky program stay when asked of if what color socks are on? Does it say, "I'm sorry, there's an upcharge for me to wear shoes"?
I really should do that.
For those of you who don't know John, know that anyway.
That's classic. But, she actually is working. And the reason that I know that is because of the last promo. Some of you guys probably heard me talk about this. The last promo I did with David Cesar, we brought in like 50 new clients to Acquisitionaire. And we brought in a lot of other people that just got on the mailing list and didn't buy, but they're now in the process, they're in the sales process. And during the time when we were onboarding the new customers, we had like, I don't know, 3 or 4 customers that came in under a different price point, which is a price point that is not really published anywhere. It's like they wouldn't have found that on their own. And Brady asked me, he goes, "Where are these people coming from?" He goes, "How are they getting that? How are they getting to that page?" And I said, "I don't know. I thought, maybe I had a break in the system, or maybe I screwed something up." So one of the guys came through, and I actually reached out to him to ask him, and I said, "Hey, I'm curious. I see you're asking about the 2-month free offer that we just offered in the promo. And I'm curious to know how you got to the order page that you got to." And and he's like, "Oh my God," he goes, "I'm so embarrassed right now." And I'm like, "Why? It's no biggie. I'm just curious to know how you found the page that you ordered on." And he said, "Well, I was on your site and I was talking to the girl that works for you." And I'm thinking, "Connie? Did he talk to Connie?" And he's like, "No, no, Becky." And I'm like, "Oh shit." He thought she was real. And he carried on like a 20-minute conversation with Becky, and she's flirtatious. When I built her personality, I built her to be flirtatious. So this guy is now flirting, thinking he's creating a relationship with Becky. And at
Oh my
some point,
God. Limbacher.
at
That
some,
is tricky. That is very tricky.
That's
and
awesome.
at some point, here's what she did, and guess where she learned this, right? Here's what she did. She kind of leaned in and started the whisper mode. And she said, "Hey, I'm not supposed to tell anybody about this, but there's a hidden Black Friday page. And, if you use it, I'll get the commission on it. So here's my link." And I'll be damned, he clicked the link and bought the program because he thought he was helping her out. And I'm like, "You gotta be kidding me." And
That is
Thank
freaking
you for the
awesome.
commission.
John, I want to see the prompt for Becky. I want to see Becky's prompt. That's got to be a great
You've
prompt.
got to, yeah,
That is
you've
so
got to do that,
awesome.
and that's got to be a training call going through that whole prompt with us.
but yeah, it's like you can set up scenarios and all kinds of stuff for them to have personality. But I mean, she even says things that are fairly sexual. Like she says, "I'd love to see you on the inside." Yeah. And I mean, that has meaning to the program. It's not meant to be sexual, but I put it in there because it is. And
John, does she giggle? Can she giggle?
well, she's okay. Here's the deal. She is just a text bot right now. So this is all just through text. You guys have seen her. She's on the Acquisitionaire site. So she is merely just a text bot. But here's what she's gonna be in a very short time frame. She is now gonna say, "Hey, if you'd like to talk in person, send me your phone number." And she's now going to collect their phone number. And when they give her their phone number, she's going to call them immediately. And she's now going to talk to them in her voice. And
Do you think they'll find out that she's a bot, or how are you going to do this?
well,
I think
apparently
this
they
is a
can't.
I think this is an IQ susser at this point.
So that's what is coming.
Oh
So
my God.
I, and you
Yeah,
know,
John, I'm setting that up right now, actually. So the question I have though is, and you're talking about quantum. Is quantum a product that we can sell? Have you set up an affiliate thing so we can sell quantum?
yes, Quantum is available for resale. So you guys, if you're an affiliate, you can log into your affiliate program in the back, and I put it under Act. It's not
I
a,
was gonna,
it's
yeah, I was
not,
going to say I didn't see it.
yeah, it's not a standalone. It's under Act. So if you click on Act and you go to the affiliate links for Act, that's where you'll find the links for it, for your affiliate links. So, and yeah, it sells really well. I have had nobody at all give me negative feedback on it.
Hey, John, is this quantum suite? Is it going to take the place of what you were saying about ACT? Because you at one time, several months ago, you said you were going to use AI and integrate it into ACT. So now we don't have to worry about that, right?
Yeah, this is basically my answer
Okay.
for that.
Okay, got it.
This was like the way this has been playing out. I'm just like I'm literally drooling over here. I've wanted this since day one, and now it's possible. And you guys have seen me just chipping out the tools in there. I put, two new tools in there this week, the one that makes the offers, and then another one for the people that are in acquisitionnaire that were using zip codes. They're like, well, how do I get the zip code? So I built a tool where they can put the city and a diameter, like 10 mile diameter, and it'll give you every zip code in that sphere.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'm able to do anything I want with it. It's amazing. The only thing I haven't quite figured out how to do yet, and this has to do with I have to figure out which engine is generating QR codes. I haven't been able to get it to spit out a viable QR code yet, because that was something I wanted to create a tool that would generate QR codes for you guys, because I know a lot of people are wanting QR codes. And so far, I haven't been successful at that. So I've kind of tabled it, and I kind of leaned it on my tech guys to, hey, figure out what engine we need to use to generate a QR code. So once, if I wrestle with something a couple of rounds, it's off my plate and it's on to somebody else's. But these tools, I've been having a lot of fun uh, generating these tools. It's been really cool. So,
I have a question about the tools.
mhm,
So I love the offer. It's amazing. Thank you. And
yeah,
I know the next step is the big idea.
yeah,
And then after we do the big idea, there's going to be a series of things we need to do between the big idea and the offer.
uh-huh.
What would be the next step after that? Or is that where we get into objections or not yet?
Yeah, I mean, you can really kind of take the stuff in any sequence you want. So the way I've laid the tools out is kind of the top row here is graphic stuff for the most part. I put a logo creator in there to create logos. These are all just basically to create images and videos and all that stuff. And then where the act part starts is with the market segmenter. And I really recommend that you do the analysis part first, because when you're over here and when you're in big idea and you're in irresistible offer, you're in creation mode. You're creating, and you should be creating with the idea of the buyer in mind. So for you to build your buyer effectively, you really should do your market segmentation first.
Mhm.
You figure out the market segment, and then you take that and you plug that into the buyer. And then you figure out, okay, this is who I'm selling to. This is what's important to them. This is what's going on inside their head. And then from there, I've always talked about competition and the analysis piece. And most people didn't really get what I was talking about. When I say you need to figure out who your competition is, an example of that is a chiropractor. A chiropractor, he thinks all his competitors are other chiropractors, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Because when you look at his problem solution, his problem that he's solving is back pain, right? So his solution is back pain relief. So what I want to know is, who is the competitor for back pain relief? And it's not just another chiropractor. It could be a massage therapist. It could be acupuncture. It could be pain meds. It could be surgical. It could be inversion tables. There's an unlimited number of people that could claim they have a cure for back pain relief. So that's who your real competition is. That's why I named it real competition. It's important for you to know that, because that's what's going to take you over here to the heres and fears. If you know who your real competitor is, you're now going to know what your prospect is hearing and what fears that's creating. And that could take you right down here to eliminate those objections, or it could take you, anywhere down the line in the process. It doesn't really matter. After these first steps and you're in analysis, when you move into creation, it doesn't really matter what order you go in. And when you're in creation mode, you're creating a bunch of pieces that you're going to use to build different pictures. You're building a bunch of pieces that you can make an unlimited number of puzzles with. And those pieces are interchangeable into each funnel that you build. Like let's say you identify a buyer and you've got your product, and now you're going to create a funnel that takes one angle at it. Well, that angle's not going to appeal to everyone. So you might have to take a different angle, and you've got the same pieces. You can rebuild that funnel or duplicate it, change out a couple of things, and now you have a new funnel with a new angle. You might have different lead magnets. You might have a really good presentation that works for everyone, but if you have multiple lead magnets, you have different front ends to get people into it. Like, for instance, that's where Franken AI came in. Franken AI gives me a new lead magnet, which is a new way to get people into my funnels. So the more of those that you can have, the better off you'll be. I have two right up here. This is the free AI book. That's a free giveaway. This brings people into my funnel. Here's the free bonus. This is the Franken AI. This is, again, something that can bring people into my funnel. Now, some people are going to be on here and they're going to see that free AI book and they have a lot of interest in AI, so they're going to download that. Others are going to say, oh, free bonus. I love freebies. And they'll see that and they'll download it just because it's a freebie. I could also promote this as a free social media software. I put free bonus because I was just dinking around with this the other day, and when I put the software in here, it just pushed the button out too far, and I'm like, hell with that. It's just a free bonus for now. I'll figure it out later. So just so you can kind of see my thought process, I want as many different ways into my funnels as possible. So when I see opportunities like for software I can give away for free, that's a viable option. When when I see stuff in the market, like all the buzz around AI, you guys realize I created this AI book like 3 years ago? Maybe more, probably more than 3 years ago, long before anybody was talking about AI. But what it was getting the early adopters. It was getting the people that were forward thinkers. Those were really my ideal customers. And it got several thousand people to download that free iBook over the last couple of years. Those are all my forward thinkers. Most of them have turned into customers now. They didn't do it immediately. A lot of times, like on this book, when they download this book, this book is loaded with affiliate offers. Because in the beginning, I didn't have a lot of AI products. I didn't have any, the only AI product I really had was SitePop. But in the book, I was showing them, okay, here's a bunch of stuff that's really cool that you can use. And it's all my affiliate links in the book. So I've been making money for the last 3 years with affiliate offers by giving that free book away and building my list in the same time frame. So I'll do the same thing with the Franken AI. Franken AI will be given away for who knows how long, and it'll generate that list. And it also upgrades to the paid version for anybody that wants the full power of Franken AI. And it'll make me money along the way for giving away a free thing. So I don't even have to sell anything. I just have to figure out what people want, provide something for them, give it to them, and let that lead them to sales. So I know that's a big thing for a lot of people is, oh my God, I don't want to do sales. I don't want to be pushy. And I get it. I'm the same way. Salesperson is the last guy I want to be. So I have figured out creative ways to make sales without selling. And it's by providing value. What I'll do, Frank Kern really laid this out in Mass Control. He said in Mass Control, you're creating demand and desire by giving people the assistance they need to get what they want. He talked about it being a desired outcome. If you can figure out what their true desired outcome is, and if your thing, whatever you're selling, will actually deliver that, he said you can give away 90% of the thing that you're going to sell. Because if you take them 90% of the way toward what they really want, their demand and desire to get that last 10% is going to be absolutely through the roof. And the amount that they will pay to get it is right alongside through the roof. So if you want to not worry about how much you're charging for things and you want to break that price barrier and you want to not be a commodity where, people are just looking to buy the cheapest thing, you just provide 90% of the value for free, take them right up to the crucial, critical step, and then drop them and walk away and see what happens. They're going to be biting on your coattails to get that last 10%, and price won't be an issue. So that was Frank Kern's method to his madness. And and all these tools are all built for all the pieces in ACT to do that, to create that demand and desire. The buying triggers, this one's really cool. This will tell you all the emotional buying triggers of what will push them over the edge to really actually make that purchase, those buying triggers. Hook lines, this uses the Goldilocks grade to create good headlines, good hooks. If you're doing email marketing, that's a really cool tool here. If you haven't seen it, it'll give you 10 headlines and then you get to rate the headlines. And in the Goldilocks scheme, it's like you're rating 1 to 10. And a number 1 is like everyone else is saying the same thing. So if you got a number 1, it's going to be very ineffective because it's not going to be seen in the market as any different than all the rest of the crap they're seeing. So you want to stay away from the low end of the scale, saying what everyone else is saying. On the top end of the scale is a number 10, and you don't want to be there either, because a number 10 is saying things so outlandish that it will just set off the bullshit meters and no one will believe you. So it's making claims that are supernatural. They're people see right through them. They're like, that's a bunch of crap. I don't believe it. So you don't want to be on the top end of the scale either because of that. You want to be what's in the Goldilocks zone, the 7, 8, 9. It's where it's really unique. It's really pushing the envelope, but it's yet believable. And one of the things that makes things believable is having a unique delivery mechanism. That's part of the big idea. You know, when you go to the big idea, the schematic for how to build a big idea, it's the promise of the delivery of what they desire coupled with the thing that's going to make the result. You know, it's the unique mechanism that's going to deliver the result of that promise. If you have one without the other, you failed. If you have a promise that's not believable, you failed. It's not a big idea. You have to couple that promise with the delivery mechanism that their logic can see. Oh, yeah, I see how that works. Okay, I believe it. I'm in. I want to see more. Now you've got a big idea that grabbed their attention and sucked them in. So it's really important on the front end that you do that, because if you don't get to play the game. The game is in you presenting your value. That's how you're going to make a sale. And if you can't grab their attention on the front end, you don't get to play the game. If you can't play the game, you can't win. If you can't win, you're going to get a job, and that just damages my soul to even think about that. So this is really important stuff. So no, this will not replace the ACT program. The ACT program is the core principle of all of these tools. These tools will help you implement when you're there and you're ready to do that. I still recommend that you go through all the ACT lessons and you learn the basic fundamentals of the game. And then you can leverage these tools to actually be able to play. You know, you can actually build big ideas. Because I got to tell you, I've had some people that are really intelligent, much more educated than I am. You know, better at many things than I am. But when I talk about stuff like this big idea, they can't do it. And that really bothered me for a long time. It's almost like a skill set. And, you know, and I could tell them till I'm blue in the face. You got to have a promise. You got to have a unique delivery mechanism, and you say it in a way they've never heard it before, right? That's the formula. It's pretty simple. And I can say that, and it's simple all day long. But then I hand it over to you and I say, now you do it. And I've been doing that for years, and I am just flabbergasted with what I get back. I get things back and I look at it and I'm like, what am I looking at? Where's the promise? Like you missed the first piece. Where's the promise? How did you not understand that promise is one of the three things in a big idea? And then I look a little further. I'm like, okay, you missed the promise. Where's the unique delivery mechanism? You missed that too. And I'm like, am I miscommunicating or what's the deal? But I haven't had hardly anybody that was actually able to build big ideas. So it comes down to, okay, do I want to do this for them? No, no, I don't. So this has really been an exciting thing for me to be able to come up with this and deliver these tools. Because this is all the stuff I've been wanting to give you guys and haven't been able to.
John, can I jump in there real quick? I had a quick question.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, good to finally meet you. I'm new in the ACT program, and I'm going
Oh,
probably 60% through it. And I think you said watch it first and then come back and watch it a second time. So that's the first Zoom that I've done with you guys, and I do appreciate it. I just had a couple questions. I hope they're not too remedial, but you know, so I'll just shoot real quick. The quantum AI, is that free to us in ACT?
Quantum is discounted to the ACT members to $19.97 a month.
Okay.
So you guys basically get it for $20. The retail on the front end of it's going to be 97 a month. That's what people that are not in the ACT program are going to be paying for it.
Got it.
We're doing a thing right now for most of the people in ACT are the ones that have it so far. But I did open it up to a couple of groups on a beta thing where they're paying 47 a month. But anybody in ACT gets it for, just under 20.
And is that a lock price?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. The next question I had was, um, we spoke last week or a little over a week ago about the acquisition error in regards to the ACT, and you recommended ACT, so that's why I purchased, and I'm in the course. But I was a little vague. I had still some fog about so I'm working for a company where we do pavers, concrete pavers for like patios and such. And that's where I'm basically going to be taking over some of the ad sales and campaigns. So that's the reason why I entered in this course, trying to get the freshest stuff. Does acquisition air replace SEO ads in your opinion, or do I still have to do both?
It can replace, like with acquisition error, the cool part about acquisition error is it can tell you who's searching in real time.
Right.
And that's what SEO does. SEO puts you at the top so people that are searching in real time can click on you. So in my opinion, it's actually better than SEO. It's better, faster, and cheaper.
Okay.
But
So
the thing is, I just did a group thing with my acquisition air people this morning, and I told them this also creates the same problem that SEO creates, is any kind of traffic is like a magnifying glass. It's going to magnify what is existing. So if you've got problems in your funnel, it's going to magnify them. Like the cool thing, the best thing I think of all about acquisition air is it cuts right through all the crap to tell if your marketing funnel is going to work or not. Like with SEO, you could spend 6 months getting to the top to start getting traffic to find out your funnel's broken.
right.
Here you can pour the fuel on the fire. You could drop, 100, 200 people right into your funnel and figure out, okay, are these people going to convert? Because it's the same people you would get with SEO. These are people that are searching, live.
Right.
So
So
if they don't respond, from acquisition error, they're probably not going to respond from SEO either.
right, and that's possibly due to not a very good landing page.
Yeah, yeah, not having a big idea, they're going to pass like a ship in the night, just like David Ogilvy said.
Right. So we have a website for the company, and I've been doing a lot of YouTubing and figuring out some things on that side. But I've heard that it's better to run a hybrid. The landing page, the web page is more of an informational side of it. They get to know you a little more in depth, what you provide, what you do, and the landing page will be for. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I know that the landing page is. I've heard to do both. Is that? And
Yeah, I
what
mean,
functions, in your opinion?
I would say that you want to do a website regardless.
Right.
The website is nothing more than credibility. The website's not really there to sell products. Your funnel is there to sell the products. Your landing page is there just to take the order.
So in this business model of selling concrete pavers versus concrete, just regular poured in place concrete, that landing page would be we would generate a lead magnet based. So can you kind of
Yeah, so
define like how would acquisition air? Because I plan to go do acquisition air. How does
sure,
that
sure.
work with like a landing page versus like paid ads? The guy that owns companies had horrible experience with ads. He just like, oh,
Yeah.
they kind of work, but so I'm like saying, hey, let's do some acquisition air. But
Well,
what is the tail end? Acquisition air leads into a landing page. And you're using Kartra. I've heard high levels, the new one everybody's going to. Are they the same?
Yeah, Kartra, I've been using Kartra for years and I would never switch to Go High Level.
Okay.
Go High Level has a lot of marketing push behind it. There's a lot of media hype. They're getting a lot of new customers because of that, but I don't think it's as good a product as Kartra is.
Okay. And can you just kind of quickly say Kartra is where I would develop my landing pages? I can actually make them there, or I'm not familiar with Kartra.
So Kartra is a full marketing program. It'll do your databases, your opt-ins, your landing pages, calendar appointment scheduling. It's a whole suite of all the marketing stuff.
Got it.
It'll do videos, all kinds of stuff that it does. It also does what's really powerful is it does all of your follow-up campaigns. Like once somebody comes in, you can tag them, and that tag can start a sequence of emails going out. It monitors all of their actions during that sequence and can move the funnel. It can actually be dynamic to what the person's doing. So, like for instance, if they come in, let's say they download your lead magnet, and now you've got a presentation funnel going out to them. If they purchase at any point in there, it can automatically stop that sequence and put them into a fulfillment campaign.
I see.
And
And how would that work off the tail end of, let's say, Acquisitionaire sending me a lead? And I've done some, look into the Acquisitionaire, and I understand that it through send or something, send something
SendGrid.
integrate.
Yeah.
That sends an email. If I'm seeing it right, how does that work with, let's say, Kartra? I just want to make sure that the path is
Yeah. So
great.
SendGrid is an email program, and it's basically there for anybody that doesn't have like a Kartra or a Go High Level. Like for me, when a lead comes in through Acquisitionaire, I have the API connector set up to where that lead comes right into my Kartra account. It brings a tag with it. That tag now fires a sequence of emails that goes out automatically, and then the game begins.
Okay, so it is Acquisitionaire with a link, or I forget what what the word was, but because I'm API. So you set the Acquisitionaire leads, they come in and they automatically go to Kartra, which starts the drip email or the funnel.
Correct. Yes.
Got it. So this is the viable way.
Yeah, if you didn't have Kartra or Go High Level or something like that, you could use SendGrid just strictly as an email program just to send them automated emails.
Yeah, it sounds like I mean, I have a budget that I'm going to be putting towards this, so I want to, make sure that I'm using the best product. Or in your opinion, I respect your opinion. So if you're saying Kartra is the one,
I would personally use Kartra myself.
Okay, so I'll look into Kartra. And does that provide any kind of CRM?
It's not like a real robust CRM. It is technically called a CRM, but there are certain CRMs depending on what you're doing that Kartra might not be the best choice for you.
Got it.
Like for instance, if you had an industry standard CRM software that most of your industry uses for a purpose, it was built for that, then I would say use that.
I got it. Okay.
But if you don't, and you're just looking for a robust marketing system, then I would recommend Kartra.
Got it. And then I think one of the last questions, where do I view this recording of this? I was a little late. I was 5 minutes late. I wanted to see
sure. Yeah. If you log into your ACT membership and you go to the call page, there's a link to the archive, and it'll take you to where all the archive videos are.
Awesome. So log into ACT, go to, what was the page?
It's the call page.
Call page.
I forget what it's called, but it's like the weekly call page.
Okay.
That's where you'll find the link to the archive.
Awesome.
And
so
then
it sounds like
for you,
go ahead.
for you, like with your paver thing,
Yeah.
what you need to do is you need to figure out, like, if you're competing against concrete, if concrete
Yeah.
is your like main competitor, what you need to do is figure out, like, okay, why would somebody want the pavers versus the concrete?
Yeah. I've got that down. Like,
Like if they're looking for, beauty, or they
yeah.
looking for convenience, or they looking for price.
Yeah.
And that's all the stuff that you need to figure out. Like maybe creativity might be a really good lead magnet for you. Like, hey, see what people are doing with pavers
Right.
and then show them, because they can't think of that on their own.
Right. Yeah.
They
And
don't
papers
see it.
are better for design. We can
Yeah.
do all the colors and they don't crack. And I've got, a lot of good reasons why pavers are better. They're a little more expensive, but I think
Yeah. Yeah.
in my area, which you are, I think you're out here in SoCal. I'm down in very near San Clemente area. And
Okay. Yeah.
we're close.
I'm
But
in Huntington Beach, and I got to tell you, when I was doing my front yard, I was planning it. And the concrete guy, he was like telling me these different kinds of things he could do. And I couldn't like get a picture of what that looks like. And he brought over a picture book and he showed me like where they were laying these concrete squares, and the square of concrete was just regular concrete, but then it was bordered with a colored concrete that was hand done that looked like a lava flow,
right.
and it was stamped, and it was really cool. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what I want, but I want the whole friggin' thing like that.
Yeah. No, it can be done. I've got a picture book, and also I've looked into some AI generation of
Yeah.
3D modeling and things like that. So
Yeah.
I,
I just did a presentation for the Western Pool and Spa Association.
oh,
And I was telling them, how AI is going to take their job if they're not careful. And they were like, pool guys are kind of old school. They're not like up to speed on technology.
100%.
And I said, let me show you how this is going to go down if you don't embrace this. You're going to lose all of your clients or your potential clients because of this. I said, I know how you're doing this now. You go into their living room and you talk about how cool a pool would be in their backyard, right? That's your
Yeah.
presentation. You show them pictures maybe of someone else's backyard.
Right.
But here's what the future salesman's going to do. He's going to walk over to their back door and he's going to snap a photo of their backyard, and he's going to upload that to Midjourney, and he's going to tell the Midjourney machine, put a beautiful pool with a waterfall in this setting. And then they're going to be able to see their backyard with the pool of their dreams right before their very eyes.
Yeah, it's happening right now.
And I'm like, who do you think they're going to buy from?
Sure. I mean, that's the big thing in presentation, especially in construction. Like you said, a lot of them are old school
Yeah.
and they don't want a computer, 3D rendering and the such. But yeah, that's interesting. So everybody's giving away a free estimate. They don't charge for the estimates for us to come out. And some of the more savvy companies are doing 3D renderings free. And so that would that be considered a lead magnet, a free estimate and design rendering?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you give away for free that is of value, like in your case, I mean, think about that. If you can get them to take that free thing, you're going to be face to face with them and you're going to be showing them what they want to see.
Right.
Your odds of making a sale at that point in your presentation is absolutely through the roof.
And that lead generation, that free appointment plus 3D rendering for free would be where I would, in an acquisition error, I would be the first email I'd send to them could be schedule an appointment, free rendering, 3D rendering, and then gather their email at that point, right?
Yeah, yeah. You already have their email technically with acquisition error. So
All right.
what I would probably do, asking for the appointment right out of the gate is probably a little too soon, a little too aggressive. I would probably offer them like free examples of stuff. Like, Like, see the difference that pavers could make. If you're thinking concrete, you're thinking old school, you're thinking wrong.
Right.
See how much you can save, see how much better it can look, be the envy of your neighbors, and again, it's back to figuring out who your customer is, who your buyer is. If ego is a thing, and that's why they're doing self-improvement, the idea of showing up their neighbors might be the trigger that gets them to take the action.
And this would be in those AI tools that the quantum side of it. I could
Yeah.
be doing. And when you, in regards to quantum, I'm going to sign up for that. The quantum side of it, I've heard this before. Start with the end, right? Start
Yeah.
with the
End in mind. Yeah.
result. Is that considered the result? Maybe a finished job, or this is where you be after we go through my company?
In the marketing campaign, what that is that's the offer. That's your offer that turns into your sale. So the end in mind is not the finished product for you. Where that comes in is in the marketing campaign. That's on your prospect's end of their timeline. So that's their desired outcome. Your desired outcome is them to make the purchase so you can fulfill on that for them. So when you're talking about the marketing campaign, the end in mind for the marketing campaign is a sale. So it ends with your offer.
Got it. So I need to, if you could 1, 2, 3 it for me. In this creating my funnel, we already have a web page. I want to kind of rebrand it, looks and all that. But the first thing would be, and I really want to try the acquisitionnaire, not doing the AdSense and running campaigns in that way. So I am going to go straight to acquisitionnaire after I get through Act. Okay. And so yeah, I'm just trying to. I know that the owner is not real happy with his results in ads, and I kind of understand. You're on YouTube or you're on the web, and you're searching. You're not looking for a paver company, and so this would be a more direct. Hey, these people are looking for pavers. They looked up our main competitors, and now we have their email. Now we can start our email campaign to them.
Yeah.
So I am going to go with that. I guess what I'm.
I would just recommend, like, when you look at ACT, the T is on the end.
I haven't got there.
You want to make sure that you do the stuff in order. Your analysis is basically getting into the head of your prospect, figuring out everything you need to know to create the proper messaging. The messaging is what's going to convert that prospect into a customer. And then once you've done those two things, then you bring the traffic into it, because now you know who you're talking to, you know the right messaging. Now you just need to bring that prospect to the messaging. That's where the traffic comes in.
I've been selling construction and pavers for probably 32 years now. So I'm really sensitive. I've made good money doing it. So I am going to do the research. I'm going to, complete the app, but I feel like I'm very familiar with that side of it.
Yeah, no, that gives you a huge advantage. The fact that you've got that experience gives you a massive advantage. So that's going to help you a lot through the process.
If I wanted to try to do, I heard you mention the apprentice or something to that effect, that you offer that service as well.
Yes.
What do you call it? Is it apprentice? Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's not something I really advertise because I only do it with 8 people at a time. So it's not always open. And usually when there's a spot open, I'll announce it out to the group. And, and honestly, I haven't even done that lately. So if you're interested in that, just email me. I'll send you the info on it. And,
awesome. Okay, I'll do that. Sorry for taking the time up, everybody.
oh, no, absolutely. That's what this call's for. It's
great.
There's no bad questions. The only bad question is the one you don't ask.
It sounds good. Thanks, John.
Absolutely. All right. So anyway, I mean, back to the quantum thing, it's really a treat for me to finally be to this point where I can offer that kind of level of service to you guys. So Russ, there,
Hey, John.
how goes?
Good. I finally had time to kick the tires on your quantum over the long weekend, and I love it.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
it's awesome, isn't it?
Especially that big idea. You put in some stuff and bam, you get your big idea.
Yeah.
One thing I was struggling with, and maybe you can bring it up on your screen, is how do you rearrange the icons? Can you do
Oh,
that?
sure. Yeah, absolutely. It is made for customization. So first of all, for anybody that has this, I build new tools all the time for it. The tools don't automatically populate into your dashboard here. So you come over to what's called the App Store. When you click on the App Store, it shows you all the tools available. And then here where it says open, that means you already have it on your dash. So if you want to open it, but you get a description here of what the tool actually is, what it does. So if there's a new tool that got added, it will say get here. When you click the get button, then it loads it to your control panel. And then it's going to show up over here. Now, as I add the tools, the new tool is going to show up down here at the bottom. It'll be the last tool in the list. So it might not be the last one you want in your sequence. So what you can do is you can go up here to the plus sign. The plus sign allows you to edit your dashboard. So when you click plus, you'll notice all these things are shaking now. When they're shaking, you can click and drag them and you can rearrange them this way. If there's stuff like I'm not going to need cover art, you can just hit the X. That will send it back to the App Store. It doesn't delete it. It just removes it from your control panel. So if there's tools, I'm not going to use an ecom dominator. I don't need the SEO genie. I don't, whatever you don't need, just send it back to the App Store so you've got a clean dashboard. That way it'll be less confusing. You can have quick, easy access to the tools that you need and use all the time, and very configurable. You can even create folders. Like if you want to create a category folder and put tools in there that are for a particular process, you can do that. And then once you're done, you just click out or click the plus again and it'll lock it in.
Does this work with an iPad,
Yeah, this
iOS and all that?
yeah, this is all online. So anywhere where you've got a web browser.
So, John, when I click the plus sign, my little icons are shaking, but when I move them, I move it to somewhere and let go, and it doesn't do anything.
Let's see. So I'll try it. I'm just going to move this guy over here, let go.
Yeah, maybe I have to do it in incognito window.
Are you in, what browser are you in?
I'm using Chrome.
It should work. This is Chrome that I'm in.
Okay.
What, so when you let go, does it just snap back where it was?
So, well, when it jiggles, it moves, and then I let go. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's got like a red X on it, and it just doesn't move. Um,
Huh.
yeah, I'll play around with it.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anybody with that scenario yet.
Okay, I'll play with it.
You
The other
might
question,
try a different browser maybe, or try updating the browser.
yeah, maybe you have to do that. Um, Another question, the Blog Master and the SEO Genius. Can
Mhm.
you maybe walk through how they work? Your thoughts there?
So with a blog master, you need to basically add a blog, and then I think you're going to have to title this to an actual website. So I'll just put put that in there. Okay, yeah. So you actually have to have a website created for this. This is this is probably one I should really remove out of here because it's very advanced. You have to actually tie it in. My developer created it and he was like telling me how cool it was. Um,
So do you have to show it a URL that a similar one and then have it like modified from there?
yeah, you have to go over here to domains and you have to actually set up a domain. So once the domain is set up, then it will allow you to attach that blog to it. But it's a fairly advanced thing because you got to set up the DNS and all of that stuff. And after I kind of saw what you had to go through, I'm like, maybe we should just remove that one or change this tool to just write the blog posts for you. Because this was originally meant to just pipe them right into your literal blog.
Yeah, what I was kind of envisioning was maybe the title of the blog and maybe a subject and some keywords, and then have it go out and create it from there, and then copy and
Yeah.
paste it into your domain where you want it to go.
Yeah. That's where SEO Genie over here can create that stuff for you.
Oh,
So you might play around with this one, and then you can use the output of this to to pipe it over to your blog. Or you could also use hook lines. This is a really good one here for creating your headlines. So this could create the headlines for your blog post, and then you could copy this and you could take this over and you could create an article about it and use that as your blog post.
oh, okay.
So there's a
Hey,
lot.
John, just a quick thought.
Yeah.
I would keep the bloggy thing in. Just mark it as advanced.
Oh, and the blog, yeah. Yeah.
Because it sounds like a great tool to auto blog for you. If you know how to set up a domain, link it, DNS.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely of all the tools in here, most of the tools are really drop dead stupid simple. But when you get into and in fact, I've already taken 3 out. I took 3 out. One of them was the simple site builder, one of them was the advanced site builder, and then the funnel builder. And there's just way too much support that we would have to offer for those. It's outside the scope of what I wanted this tool to be.
What sites are you using for your web builder, website builder, and your landing page?
All of our websites are mostly built in WordPress, and we use Beaver Builder for the theme builder, so it makes it easy to edit the sites for clients. And then as far as like all the back end stuff, I use Kartra for all my landing pages, all my opt-in boxes, pretty much all the marketing stuff and automations on the back end is Kartra. And you can integrate Kartra with any website. Like you can create your buttons in Kartra for your website. Like for instance, this free AI book here, this is a Kartra landing page. So when I click there, it's the Kartra, that's a Kartra button that opens up this. I can opt in here. All of this is Kartra. And then it goes to the Kartra thank you page. There's the download to download the book. Here's an ad for Acquisition Air, how to get fresh in market leads. I guess I should probably take this one off. Those of you that have been with me for a while, that's no good anymore. So anyway, all of this stuff is all Kartra. And Franken AI, same thing. This is a Kartra landing page. These things are so easy to kick out. It's crazy how easy it is to kick these landing pages out and then clone them. Like once you build one, you can clone it and you can make an unlimited number of different landing pages with different headlines, different offers.
So the Franken AI, I think I missed that part of when you were presenting that. what is Franken AI summary?
Franken AI, if you when you watch the beginning of this video, it's one of the things I covered as a free lead magnet. It's just a free software that I got from JVZoo, and I give it away as a way to get people to sign up for my list because I know free social media software has got a pretty high draw. A lot of people think they want to do social media, but they don't actually want to do the social media. So this is a free program that uses AI to create their social media posts and post it for them.
Like Instagram and X, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. X, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and I think one other. I think there's 5 different social platforms that it handles.
In respect to the social media, I found you through YouTube, which was awesome, and I
Oh,
really
okay.
appreciate that. Um, I'm kind of thinking for the triangle would be a acquisitionaire with a YouTube presence because I do like YouTube being evergreen.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, call to action on the video back to the website, or would it be to the landing page? Um, I do like YouTube because of it's always, there.
Yeah. YouTube is a great platform. There's a ton of people like you are living proof that YouTube works.
I am.
I don't really post a lot of like just, what I would consider free promotional stuff on YouTube. Very, very seldom do I do that. But what I do is these calls that I do weekly, these really are closed calls. These are only open to the members, but I post them in YouTube. And a lot of the stuff, like I put stuff in the chat all the time, links and all the stuff I reference creates like this fear of missing out. They're like, "Oh my God, I want to be part of that group." So when I post these for our archive, I put them into YouTube and people like yourself find them by accident. And they're like, "Wow, I want to be part of that." So if I held that away and didn't like make that publicly available, people wouldn't know how good the content is inside the weekly group, nor would they know how good the tools are that we've got and the training program and all that. So for me, like I just put that out there so people can find it.
What are your thoughts on? I've heard somewhere around 7 hours of interaction for a client to become a customer to become a client. And that's the reason why I'm trying to think maybe YouTube's the best platform doing 15-minute videos. Do you have any thoughts on that 7 hour rule?
I don't know that that's really accurate for any like every scenario is going to be different.
Sure.
So I don't know where that came from, but I can tell you the more interaction that you get, the higher your chances of turning them into a customer is going to be. And video is a great way to increase that time and increase that bond.
Now, reflecting back what you said,
if you're just straight email or text, and you've never met the person, it's going to take a lot longer and it'll be a lot more in-depth process.
which would be maybe you recommend them to go to your channel, your YouTube channel, and get to know the product, get to know the process.
Yeah, what I would do is I would get them into an email sequence.
Mm-hmm.
I would have them opt in, say like, "Hey, I've got a 7-day sequence. I'm happy to give it to you." Then they opt in, and then every day you trickle out a new video that shows them, something important to them. And, for a lot of cases, in your case, it's going to be the design aspect of it. Like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize I could do that," or "That would look really cool on my driveway. That would make my neighbors, green with envy." Whatever it is that's going to be their buying triggers. And
Right.
you use the video to communicate that because you're not going to communicate the green with envy thing in an email. But if you're standing there on a YouTube video and you're showing them how fabulous this driveway looks, and then you lean in and you whisper and you say, "What are your neighbors going to think of this?"
Right.
they're going to be sick about it.
That could maybe be a before and after picture of the job
Yeah.
before it started.
Yeah. And then,
What it
and
looks
then
like.
pan around and show the neighbors' driveways that all look like crap.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
you can't do that in an email.
No.
Video is really powerful for really coming across like that and building that trust and rapport.
I've always had an interest in, and I think you touched on it a little earlier, maybe you can expand upon it, was the so I also do some coaching, some business coaching and life health coaching on the side. But it was always, how much do I give away on my YouTube content? Because by the time, let's say hey, this is how you lose 25 pounds in 3 months. And then the salesperson get on the phone and they start talking about, oh, well, you're going to go on, low carb diet, keto diet, carnivore diet. And you start telling them day one, week one is this, is that. And then by the end, they know the process. They don't need to buy the product. What, how do you parse that?
Well, there is a point where you can tell them too much. So in some cases, you're telling them the what, not the how. So what you're doing is you're holding back that last 10% that would allow them to actually get the result. Now, in some cases, like Frank Kern was really good at this. He would walk you through 90%. He'd get you up to the point where you needed that last step. And that last step became really important. Now, in a diet scenario, I would say that would be a terrible idea because most of them are going to fall out after 20%. They're not ever going to get up to 90%. They're going to throw in the towel after the first couple things that they don't see a result immediately. Their unrealistic expectations are going to kill the deal before you get there. So I don't know that in that scenario that would really work well. I think in the scenario of the diet thing, it would be more the holding out on the one thing that they're actually going to see their first result with.
Got it. Yeah, because in my scenario, I actually am a certified hypnotherapist. I do CBT and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's about maybe that one part, and it's a big part, is because everybody knows how to lose weight. Hey, just stop eating so much and walk, or get out and exercise. But no one does it, right? They're overweight, and so my thing is, I have a strategy call, and then I go straight to the induction. It's a type of hypnosis that I do, but it's basically untying the knot. Everybody knows what to do to lose weight, but they don't do it, and that's the knot. So that's kind of the 10% maybe that you can't really do it unless you clear the mind and put yourself in the right frame to do that.
Yeah. It's always the thing, like, if you want the result, then this is the thing, and that's the thing that they have to buy to get there.
Right.
But
that's awesome.
But the more you tell them, like if you tell them how it works, but not how to do it, that's the stuff that will, because when I talk about creating a marketing campaign, I talk about like two big components in the middle of it. And it's seducing the heart and convincing the head at the same time. You seduce the heart by talking about what they want. And the heart's that's like their subconscious. It's like a little kid. It wants what it wants and it wants it now. It doesn't care about ramifications. There's no consequence. It just wants what it wants. It wants it now. The conscious mind, that's where the logic lives. The heart is just desire, pure desire. That's it.
Subconscious mind. That's exactly where I split it.
Yeah. So in the conscious mind, that's like the job of the parent is to protect the heart, protect the child. So that's where the head's going to come in and say, no, that sounds like bullshit. I don't want the heart broken. I don't believe it.
Right.
That's where your objections are going to come in. That's going to kill your sales. So seducing the heart with the promise, but then yet convincing the head with logic and reason is where you're going to win the game. And that's where telling them, how it works, not necessarily how to do it, but telling them how it works enough that their mind can see the logic in it and say, "Oh, well, that's believable. I buy into that," and then
Right.
they'll buy into the program to
So
get the
that
result.
that would be in weight loss would be more like it's a diet, a ketogenic diet, and it's a exercise regimen that I would set up. And I'm not telling them how. I'm telling them the highlights, what it is, but I'm not telling them you need to eat on day one this, day two this, day three this, and
Yeah.
four, and so on.
The other thing that you've got going on there is you're going to be fighting. If you call this thing something they're aware of, they're familiar with, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot because they've already got preconceived ideas about keto and what it is.
Right.
So I wouldn't call it keto. I wouldn't call it anything they've ever heard of. I would come up with your own unique brand of what it is, and I would call it that.
Good nugget. That's a golden nugget for sure.
And
Yeah.
that's what's called a unique delivery mechanism. That's the thing that you have that no one else has that's going to deliver on the result.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Yeah, because I have done hybrid diet versions of keto and carnivore and all this. So I would just retitle it.
Yeah, I mean, just come up with a unique name for it that no one's ever heard of before, and then you own it.
Right.
You own it.
That'd be
And
like
then-
Miami diet, all these different diets, South Beach diet or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And if you name it, like in naming is really important with your products and your services. Like the diet program to me that comes to mind right off the top is Beachbody.
Yeah, I
Like
did it.
like Beachbody is the desired outcome.
Mhm.
Who doesn't want that? You're talking about their deepest desire that you could promise to them is giving them a beach body. Well,
Yeah.
this is the beach body diet by simple implication says this diet's going to give you a beach body.
Yeah.
The promise is in the unique delivery mechanism.
Absolutely. I watched some Rory Vaden. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he talks about some of that. Titling, and he basically like the 4 Hour Work Week book.
Yeah.
And, like it's got to explain itself, can't be confusing, and it's got to be catchy. So thank you for all that.
It's figuring out what they really want as their desired outcome, and then positioning yourself as the delivery mechanism of that. That's the key cornerstone of marketing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I do value all those little nuggets, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we got Richard.
Yeah, John, I was wondering, is Kartra ever going to integrate AI? I mean, that I was wondering why or if it does, how does it do it? Because I'm not.
Well,
the only reason I'm having to go high level is because they integrate with AI and
well, first of all, let's define what you want as far as AI integrated. What is it that you're looking for?
Well, John, since you first started talking about Acquisition let's see. Oh yeah, a year ago. I've been building out this thing, and I've put together 12 different state-of-the-art softwares and 4 different AI platforms, including Acquisition Air. And I've literally put together the thing where we just plug in, this may sound familiar, our AI pre-targeting super pixel. And when you do that, that's all you have to do. Your phone will start ringing with qualified in-market vetted intent prospect live calls. Boom, and their phone just rings. But everything's got to come together and work together so that the whole sequence works out. And yeah, it's done for you, which was the first thing that had my hackles up. But with the AI, it does 95% of it at this point. So I'm willing to try it and see how that works.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that the The AI caller program?
That's a component of it. It's a whole system that just plugs them in. It picks up all the loose customers, because about 62% of all the phone calls that come into any business are never answered. So there's about there's clients in there. There's all the clients they miss that land on their web pages, that land on their landing pages. I mean, businesses have got 10 times more leads than they think they do if you just capture them. And then if they want more, okay, then we take it to the next level and we'll actually do the AI search leads. But I can double or triple somebody's business with just picking up the scraps off the table that they're not paying attention to. And you can automate and I found out how you can automate the whole thing front to back. And yeah, you call and talk to you chat with the bot, or you chat with the AI on a phone call or whatever. I mean, it's a whole long thing.
So what is it, back to the original question, what is it that you want as far as AI integrated into Kartra?
It has to bring all these pieces together. It has to be able to switch from the text bot to the voice bot to acquisition air to the other components and the other functionality that's all in there. And all that functionality's got to happen in one location that kind of directs traffic. And High Level will do that, but I wasn't able to get Kartra to even connect up even an AI text bot, let alone a voice bot and all the rest of it.
Yeah. Kartra has open API, so you can really do any kind of a connection you want, but there might be some manual process and programming to it. Where I think Go High Level has done more integrations into these little third-party tools that are geared toward the local vendors. So if that's what you're really looking to do, they may have a more automated way to do that, but you can automate the API from Kartra into just about any program you want.
Okay, I just found out what an API was a couple of weeks ago, and why I would even want one, because I'm used to saying, I need this done and I want to have somebody go do that. But unfortunately, I have to learn how to do a lot of it, which has really slowed the process down a lot.
Yeah. The API is really just a gateway so the two software can communicate. So that's where you're going to just need to connect the two, and then have the process of, okay, when this caller does this thing, they get this tag that gets communicated to Kartra, which fires the sequence that, whatever you're looking to do.
Yeah. Plus all the follow-up sequences at all the different levels and texting. And if somebody calls after hours, it'll make an appointment with them to call them back at a convenient time and see if they're available. And if they are, then it'll connect them to the business. It's kind of interesting how all this stuff will work out, but I had to rely on Go High Level for the reason because you can import lots of different snapshots built by the third-party vendors that then will talk to each other inside of Go High Level, which is
if that's the case, then that's probably just a better solution for you.
Well, I will never, ever, ever expose any client of mine to the hellscape that is Go High Level. It's awful. The only thing I'd offer them that involved the Go High Level would have to be white label, because I don't want them to have to go in there and look at that train wreck.
Yeah. I've steered clear of it myself, but whatever tool does what you need to do, that's going to be your obvious best choice for it.
Yeah, right now I'm looking for that beach body kind of name. I've got a good elevator pitch, but I can't quite say it in one breath. So I got to get a better name. But if the description is literally, I got my general contractor's license in 1973, and I've been adjacent to or a contractor of some kind for the last 50 plus years. So it dawned on me, hey, I know that market pretty well. Maybe I'm my ideal customer. And when I realized that, then the rest of it came together. But what I've wanted since day one was I wanted something I could plug in that has a volume knob, and I just adjust the volume to however many customer calls I want each day. And this program will do that. It's never existed before, and that's what I wanted to build, and it took a year, but it's now working. And so now I got to figure out how to sell it. It's way too good to be true.
What's that web address? I'd like to check you out.
Well, why don't you put your email in the chat, and I'll do it that way, because I'm not there yet in terms of wanting to have it be public. So the website is being rebuilt, but it's not live yet. So, but
figure that out. I'll put my email in there. Sorry, John, stepping on your toes there, but
no worries. I was just going to tell Richard, the next tool in Quantum is called Name It. So, and Anthony was asking me for that last week, and I told him I'll build you a tool for that.
Yeah, if you can build a tool that will come up with those Beachbody type names, that would be pretty good, because I've had a year to think about a name for this thing yet, and I'm working with the VIP bot, because that's vetted intent prospects, so that works, but it doesn't quite encompass the whole thing, and the fact that basically just plug it in and tell me how many customer calls you want, and that's it.
Well, no guarantees on it picking the right name for you, but I'll at least have a tool for you to play with it.
That'd be great, John. Thanks.
Hey, what was your name? I'm sending
Richard Porter.
Richard Porter. All right, I'm sending my email to you, Richard. Thank you.
Yeah, that's me here. Hi.
Great. Thanks, Richard.
All right, Delilah, go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to follow up on the Franken AI tool, the JV Zoo. Just a couple questions. This is actually on my to-do list a couple weeks ago, and I forgot to do it, but I'm glad we talked about it today. When going to jvzoo.com, is that where we get the Franken AI lifetime bundle?
Yeah, are you looking to purchase the bundle, or are you looking to sign up as an affiliate?
Sign up as an affiliate, yes.
Okay. So JV Zoo has two forward-facing websites.
Okay.
And they're both the same. They're both jvzoo.com, but they have one side that is for affiliates. So you need to make sure, I don't remember offhand how you toggle between the two, but you need to make sure you're in the affiliate where your affiliate dashboard is. And then you go into find products, and you can use the search bar to find Franken AI, and then you have to request approval.
Got it.
So once you request approval for it, then the vendor has to approve you as an affiliate, and then you'll get your links. And what I understand, when I signed up for it, they were right in the middle of their hot launch. So they were approving affiliates pretty quickly. I've had like Linda and Gregory, they signed up like 2 weeks ago, and the last I heard, they still weren't approved yet. So I just told them, I said, go in there, and there's a link for all of the social media for that vendor. I said, email them, use the email link to email them and say you're waiting for approval. And then also hit all of their social media platforms and say on there, hey, I'm waiting for approval. It's been like a week. What's up? Is this thing still live? They don't want that kind of media on their social media, so they'll take care of you quicker.
Okay, great. Is this still alive? And then the other question is, let's say you're building your list. How do you actually build your list with this? Is this something where once you have it set up, you shoot a blast on your social media and have your friends share that you have this thing that you're offering?
Yeah, like what I did in my case, I actually created a landing page for it to give it away. And then I took the Franken AI sales page, and I used Quantum to create a video, like a sales video. And then when it created the sales video, it was obviously branded to their sales process, which I went in and I edited it.
Mhm.
I just wanted to give it away for free. So I edited the text and the video and then generated the video more geared toward a free giveaway. Once I had that video, then I blast that video out on all my social media.
Mhm.
So I put that like on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and or not Instagram, LinkedIn. You can put it on YouTube and you can blast it out that way. The other thing I did too, and here's a little trick with social media. When you're posting your social media posts, the only people that are really seeing them is the people that you're friends with. So what you want to do is you want to break outside of that box. You want your posts to get seen by people that are not your friends.
Mhm.
So what you do is you ask your friends, hey, could you please post this? This is a free giveaway. And you probably have people on your list that are entrepreneurs that would love this. Please share it with them.
Mhm.
And then when they share your post actually promotes that share. So now all of a sudden you shared it to 100 people. 10 of them shared it to their 100 people, and 10 of them shared it to their 100 people. So instead of you just getting this in front of 10 people, you now got it in front of thousands of people.
That's great. And then would your list that you're building be relevant to the product you're selling? For example, I'm in the crypto field. Um, I do want to do personal development later because that's what I originally trained in, but I'm
Yeah.
doing.
If you're in the crypto field, I don't know that Franken AI is going to be a good lead magnet for you.
Yeah.
What might be a better lead magnet for you is maybe a free report of why you and make it shocking, like why you don't want to buy Bitcoin or whatever is going to be shocking,
Mhm.
even if it's not true.
Mhm.
They'll download it and then you can open it up with, I was just kidding about not buying Bitcoin. I just needed,
I see.
so
So
whatever,
a catchy thing on that would be, you know, something along the lines of you want it's like Bitcoin is the wrong thing to buy. All right, and then you put it go inside your news inside your thing. You got to have something in there going. Well, it's the wrong thing to buy if you have no money. I mean, it's like it's in there, but you know what I mean. But it's the wrong thing to buy if you have no money. All right, but it's you have a catchy line like that, but you can have it in there real quick. It's clickbait is what it is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. More
One
click.
one that I've seen that has been used by uh, a lot of the finance world and stocks, and now I see it being used in crypto, and it's very effective. Is you take the one that they've all heard of, like in crypto, Bitcoin is the one they've all heard of. In stocks, it might be like IBM or Google or something like that. So anyway, you take Bitcoin and you say the Bitcoin bull run is coming. It's inevitable. It's almost here. But I've identified the three cryptos that's going to do 100 times what Bitcoin is going to do. And then they have to download that to find out what those three cryptos are. I would use that kind of approach. That way, you're not bashing Bitcoin. You're saying Bitcoin's going to drive this market, but there's three you've probably never heard of that are going to outperform it by 1,000%, in your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like those free stock tips or crypto tips, download my free guide. That would be a really good pull for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because anybody that's thinking Bitcoin, they're going to go, oh God, I want to know what else there is. Now you've opened their eyes to new opportunity.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Sounds great. And then Franken AI would be more like if I wanted to do a presentation or something AI related. If I wanted
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
maybe like I'm an affiliate to Quantum AI, and
Uh-huh. Yeah.
bring people to Quantum AI in that way or something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
As we're talking about this, I just had one on Instagram that said 3 reasons why this gym is bad for you. All right, and I opened it up, and the number one reason why was is if you don't live in Chicago, Illinois, this is a bad gym for you because you can't get there.
Yep, the clickbait.
It's a clickbait, exactly what I just got done saying.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's awesome. I actually did a whole segment on one about the bad fish oils. You know, everybody thinks fish oil is great for their health. And this health professional was saying, you know, all the normal fish oils you buy over the counter aren't really that good for you, but there's one fish oil from you know, some deep cod fish on the East Coast that nobody knows about. And when you go into the presentation, you find out what it is. It's this Mindenhaven fish, which, I mean, who the hell's heard of that? Right? It's like the little anchovy or sardine of the East Coast. And apparently it's got magical fish oil that you should buy. And, you know, here they've got the promise of what you already wanted. You know, you're probably buying fish oil already because of the promise of good health. And then here you find that, oh, well, I was buying the wrong one. I need to buy this other one because it's the one that actually delivers on the result. So you've got the promise attached to the unique mechanism. It's not just any fish oil, it's Mindenhaven fish oil.
What was that weight loss product? Remember, you all used it for a million examples too, though, John. You've used it and said, well, you know, the reason our product works is because we have XYZ into it. All of
Oh,
them have it, but these were the first people to label, this is what we have in ours.
yeah, it's Garcinia cambogia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
diet pill, you know, when people were selling diet pills, it was the rage. But eventually, you know, the diet pill originally was the thing that delivered the result. That was the unique mechanism.
yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the whole market's flooded with all these different diet pills. And now all of a sudden, it's just a commodity. They're all the same. It's a diet pill. And everybody knew, well, they didn't work. So why would I buy another one? So the really smart marketer came out and said, you know, it talked about the fantastic results that the stars were getting really fast for movie roles. Like if they needed to shred 20 pounds off overnight for a movie role for a casting, they would take this diet pill. And the reason it works so well is it's got Garcinia cambogia in it. So all of a sudden now you've got a unique mechanism that delivers the result, and it's not just any old diet pill. The truth behind it was they all had Garcinia cambogia in them. It was the active ingredient in all the diet pills. So again, it was just marketing bullshit, but it works. So, and it was funny because when they did that, all of a sudden, in a very short time frame, all the diet pills had Garcinia cambogia in their advertising. And then the smart guy, again, he didn't take it all the way to the wall. He just took it enough to be unique. So then he did it again. And he said, our Garcinia cambogia is cold pressed. It doesn't have the active ingredient cooked out of it like the rest of them on the market. So now again, he's back on top with the unique mechanism. You know, when they all said they were cold pressed, then he said, you know, ours is eaten by the ula ula bird and crapped out, and that's why it works. And, you know, who knows? Just
the point is he's always the forward thinker, and that's what you've always got to be in everything you do. Is you've got to be the forward thinker,
yeah,
because people who can't forward think, they're just going to copy what you do and continue.
yeah. The moral of that story, though, is when you're a forward thinker, just think one step ahead. Don't go all the way to the end, because then you'll have nowhere to go. So like Garcinia cambogia, cold pressed, out of the East Indian, whatever, you know, then this, then that. So leave all the steps ahead. That will allow you to lead the pack. If you don't leave any steps ahead, you're over. You're a one-trick pony. Game over real quick. So, all right. Anything else before we wrap up? We've had you guys on here for 2 hours now.
Hey, John.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
just sent you an email with my question.
Oh, okay.
As a reseller, do we need to buy into Quantum to get an affiliate link to resell it?
Nope. Nope. You don't
Okay.
have to own it to sell it. You
So I
can
just jumped in to try to throw it on my website I'm working on, and
Yeah.
it did not open up with an affiliate link. It showed it on my affiliate list, but no affiliate link.
Okay, the affiliate link for Quantum is under the Act tab. So if you go under Act to get your affiliate links for Act, you'll find
In
the Quantum
in
link.
Kartra?
Yes.
If I was
Yep.
in Kartra, let me go back to my affiliates.
Yeah, go back to the affiliate and then go to the Act links. You'll find it under there.
They've got like a lot of ACT links.
Yeah. Yeah. Act has a lot of different offers.
There's ACT Fast Tracked,
Yep.
ACT Live, ACT Marketing Protocol.
Yeah, the Act Marketing Protocol, and then all the way at the bottom of the promotional links, you'll find the Quantum. There's two. There's one for the full retail price of 97 a month, and then there's the beta at 47. So you can choose whichever one you want to promote.
Okay. And then if I wanted it was $19.99 if I can find my link to that, correct?
Correct. Yeah, if you can't find it, I can send it to you.
Okay. I'm not quite ready, but I'm getting there because I'm thinking I can use some of that.
Oh yeah, it's an awesome program, I'll tell you. But if you can't find your affiliate links, just let me know. I'll go
Yeah, I'm not
to you.
finding it at the moment. I just found the one Quantum and it didn't give me anything.
Okay.
Hey, John, what's your email?
It's John at internetdominators.com.
JOHN?
Yep.
Internetdominators.com.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not finding any others than the one I had already found that didn't give me the link. So,
And I see Thumper's question about the crypto call. It's the second Thursday of the month, so it's next week. So we run a crypto call once a month.
John, on that email, it's John at Internet Dominators, plural, with an S on the end.
Yes.
.com. Okay, great. And in regards to that Franken AI, that was, did I hear that was lead generation tool?
I'm using it as a lead generation tool because I'm giving it away as a free gift.
I see. It's not that's not a program for lead generation.
Correct. Yeah. It's a social media software.
Got it. Okay.
So it'll use AI to create all your social media posts for a year and post them out for you automatically.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's a cool tool and it's a great giveaway for generating a list.
Yeah, no, that's pretty sweet.
So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for today. We will see you guys back next week and have a great week. Get out there and play with Quantum and kick some butt.
Thanks. It was great.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Good. Thank you.